Hello! Welcome to the Easy Allies Patron Q&A. Q for question, A for...
ass!
Yeah. That's it. I am Brandon Jones, this is Isla Hank, Michael Huber,
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth, Michael Damiani is on the mic and behind the TV. Ben Moore is working on a review. Brad Ellis is in jury duty.
I'm so jealous.
Jealous of the jury duty.
I've wanted to be a juror my entire life, and I've never done it.
It's the whole classic trappings of the law system, Huber, is that, like, you only see the glamorous parts.
Yeah,
Well, dude, my dad and my brother were, like,
It
in
sucks.
law, so, like, I just love it. I love
Like, you see the courtroom drama,
Yeah.
and, like, you have to wait so long to get to that point. Like, you
and
have
then
to
it
wait.
sucks
Yeah.
when you do.
And then most of it's boring. Most lawyers are
I'm patient.
bad.
Oh, dude,
I'm
yes,
super
they're
patient.
bad. Lawyers are bad.
Lawyers are not Tom Cruise and, like, you know.
Of course.
Obviously, blanket statement. The lawyer that the lawyer of the defense on the thing that I was a juror on for 3 weeks was bad. It was all emotional. It was terrible.
Danical. This is the Q&A tier is on our Patreon, and people at that tier can submit questions for a Google Doc. Thank you to Ben Moore, who set all of this stuff up, but he will not be joining us to host this. So I will be going through 19 questions submitted by people at the Q&A tier at our Patreon. Thank you to them. Thank you to all patrons. Although one person said, I am a Patreon. I'm like, I think you mean patron.
No.
I don't know.
I've typed that so
I
many
am
times.
A lot of
Patreon.
people get that E in there.
Lord of
Just a
the
little extra work. You don't
patron.
need that E. It's just patron. Ulf himself kicking it off. If starting with the NES generation and going forward, what is the overall worst console generation?
Generation?
Worst console generation.
Well,
No,
Nintendo
that's-
makes it weird because they're kind of like in the middle
Yeah,
of it. Like,
Well, no, they were always synced up for. They were
Okay.
pretty much synced up. I mean, maybe a year off, but it's always weird because from my perspective, you know, Nintendo. Like, I thought N64 was great, and I thought GameCube was great, but obviously, like, they were like the weakest. Especially the GameCube era was like a low point, but at the same time, you had PlayStation
some
2 and
classics.
Xbox, the start of
Yeah.
Xbox with Halo. So it's like this is actually a hard
Yeah.
question. Like,
Yeah.
what's
The
general?
Saturn was a miss, but it's a PS1 era, right?
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
and
so
then
that
64. It's
generation
like
was like,
Saturn and
can't,
64
can't
PS1.
we just narrow it down to console and
No,
say
I think
Wii
they want-
U
they
and
want-
move on?
No,
It's
it's-
Wii U.
Well, yeah, but I think Vic Rattler might be right in chat. PS3 360 might be the worst, but it had some obviously
The
great
360
stuff.
is like the most
had the
prolific
Wii.
console I've ever seen in my
And it had the
Well, I know.
DS.
PS3 has some masterpieces.
Yeah,
So
but like,
360 had a
worst
lot
generation
of,
is, like,
360
hard.
was
I
like,
mean,
really good.
If we really want to be fair, it's the NES.
It's the
Yeah,
NES.
yeah.
New games are better than
Yeah,
old games.
'cause it was
Don't at
Were
me.
online.
Because it was
there were
the
only
Master
two competing
System
consoles.
and,
the Master System wasn't as nearly as popular as the
Yeah.
Genesis. Yeah.
Yep.
No, the worst console generation was the one where it crashed. What are we talking about?
Well, as he started with
before
that
this.
voice.
Oh, yeah,
That's why they started
Damn
with
it.
NES. We
Yeah.
could just, if we call
But
the
yeah,
Sega
Master
CD,
System-
What a weak ass
Yeah,
generation.
NES
man.
and NES Master
No
System.
online.
Yeah, sure.
if we call the Sega CD
No Fortnite.
and that weird like middle ground its own generation,
Yeah.
that was it.
There might have been an online thing for Nintendo.
Cartridges,
I don't know if it
my
ever came out
ass.
to the US.
The Stellar, what was it called? The Stellavision?
The television was Super NES.
Television. Oh.
But that was satellite. That wasn't online.
32X was its own generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
that was- that
32X was still
Yeah, the
Genesis.
32X,
Genesis.
the 32X
Clean expansion pack.
Sega CD mid generation was the worst generation.
But we're done with generations, right? We just talk about
Pretty
generations
much.
in terms of
Nah.
a single company now. Because Switch killed it. Like, it's,
No, someone
we're
said
done.
Gen 8 already on the one
Switch
of our
is definitely
things.
Yeah,
off
like-
though.
Who said Gen
Everything's
8
off
this
now.
week?
They
On
did
one of
say
the
Gen 8.
presentations,
Oh,
they said
yeah.
Gen
Oh,
8.
really?
That crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blood got all tilted about it.
Yeah.
Is this the pre-show to the Q&A?
One guy in the
or
crowd
are we-
stands
No,
up.
we're in it.
We're in it.
We're answering.
Yeah.
This
You're
is
in
an A
one.
for a Q.
But that
just
is
like
kind of funny,
friggin'
the
pre-shows
whole
up.
One down,
period.
18 to go. D Tenchi. Oh, not to start static. But what was the reason you were last genuinely angry with another ally?
Oh God.
Dun dun dun.
What?
I can answer this because it's my favorite. There are reasons I was angry with other allies that I will never say publicly, but I do have a famous public one that I always bring up whenever this is brought to light, which is when I had the PlayStation VR on my head and didn't know the buttons. I had played a game on a different controller
yeah.
and didn't know the buttons, and I was standing streaming to the world with a helmet on my head, screaming at Cal Bossman, saying, "Just tell me the damn buttons." And he was like, "It's so easy." And I played through that game and took the helmet off my head and still did not know. The entire time, no one ever told me. Everybody laughed and mocked me.
Yeah, you
But-
got one more of those, Humor.
So, Everyone is off the hook. I have one of us has answered that question. So if nobody else has any
I don't hold grudges.
specific things.
So
Oh,
if I'm mad, it's in the moment. And
I
then
don't
we
like
move
to
on.
hold grudges,
Yeah.
but I will hold a grudge
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Don't intentionally hold a grudge,
Right.
but hurt lasts. You know.
You were technically an ally when you joked when I was saying game trailers got shut down. So it's not technically, I wasn't mad at an ally at the time. But when I called all the game trailers employees in, and you were like, let me guess, you got shut down. I was like, yes, the site I created was shut down today. Iowa, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Well, I mean, I couldn't think of any other reason to have a meeting right after lunch.
You were right.
The rest
You're
of
just
those
too-
days at
You're
game
paying
trailers
too
were
much
for-
attention. You need to be more like Huber.
Yeah.
We're
We're for
just
sitting
kind of
around and doing
drifting,
nothing.
cobwebs.
waiting for somebody else to bring it up.
Cobwebs.
Then you react.
It's like a cave in my brain.
Cobweb
Wait.
syndrome. And I've never been mad at you.
I was gonna
because
say, I don't think I've ever
you
been
can't.
mad at Huber.
You
Yeah.
can't.
It's impossible.
Huber reminds me. Huber's like what my mom said I was like as a kid, where I would be in the street and she'd be like, "Brandon," and I would like come running in. She'd be like, "Please don't go in the street," and I would be like, "Okay," and I would smile and I would run into the street. But the smile was genuine. The enthusiasm was genuine. It was all genuine. So you can't, you know.
You're just crazy. That's like with Huber. Yeah, Mommy never gets mad. She just gets disappointed.
Yeah, which is even worse, honestly.
I'm
for
always
me.
just like, God damn it, Huber.
There's nothing like disappointment. It's the worst.
You got.
I
some-
don't-
Well, yeah,
Just
I was
fine,
trying to let's make this pile on Kyle day. I was trying to.
It's
Oh
so
my
easy.
gosh.
I was trying to find a way to shut down his stupid stream when he was trying to like wiggle his way out of the bet when he was streaming someone else's playthrough of A Link to the Past.
Oh,
he was
right.
started a late
yeah.
night stream and like I got a DM like, "Oh, Damian, you might want to check this out." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, he's streaming A Link to the Past," but they're like, "He's not playing it." I'm like, "Wait, what?" He goes, "He's streaming someone else's." I'm like, "Wait, he's streaming." I was like, "Wait, he's streaming someone else's content," and he's trying.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
I was like trying to change the password to Twitch, like,
Just, like,
maybe that will
not allowed,
invalidate
I
the
think.
stream key and it'll
Could you
like,
just
kill-
gone live? Like, wouldn't that have bumped him and gone live
I
to
think
you?
No, I
so.
tried all of that. You have to contact Twitch support at that point to.
You couldn't go live and bump him?
No, you
Oh,
can't.
what?
You can't do that.
I
No.
thought you could do
I
that.
totally thought that.
And the key only updates so often, so it'd have to wait till the site refreshes it. Then it would have invalidated him.
Right.
But like, it's not instant. You can't just like
Yeah, yeah.
instant pull the plug. So I was like, oh,
Right.
all right. And I was like, you're messing things up, Kyle. Stop.
Some of those Pop Fiction episodes got like 8 rewrites. Those were a little brutal, but I don't think I've ever gotten like.
That's not easy allies.
I've gotten the silent treatment a few
That's
sometimes.
not easy.
That's not
Yeah.
easy allies.
During Easy Allies,
Nice.
I've gotten. There was sometimes even at the PC, and I'm like, Damiani, what's the thing with the thing, the
Technicality.
thing, and it's just silence. I'm like, Damiani. It's focused. Contractually, I can't get mad at Bloodworth. That's not.
Yeah, contractually,
It
absolutely.
doesn't work.
It doesn't work on blood.
Like you can't get mad up the food chain. I can only say. just gotta deal.
Well, how do you explain you
I
being
mean,
mad
speaking
at
about
me
silent treatments, I think Isla and I both have that frustration. I don't know if the anger is it.
then?
But
Yeah.
we'll ask a question or we'll be in the middle of a conversation and somebody will just ghost us on Slack. Like, where
Oh, yeah.
are you?
For sure. Dude, sometimes I'm in the bathroom for a couple hours. Not hours, but like
Yeah.
What?
on and off. Damiani
No,
knows.
he let it slip.
To the bathroom, back to the bathroom. Like, dude, I get like stomach pains.
Oh.
And then inevitably, the second I get in the car, bam, bam, bam,
Oh,
bam,
yeah, yeah.
Huber, Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, dude, yeah.
Yeah. Turn it off on the car. I will say, yeah.
That pisses me off.
Not looking when
You
on
guys
the
gotta get hands-free
on the
shit
flip
in your cars
side-
so that
Yeah.
you can
No.
be reachable on your
Nope.
dumbass 2-hour
my car drive is I'm listening to serene music to keep my mental state
Same.
normal,
Right.
so
Same.
I
Oh
don't
my
rage.
God.
91.5.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
91.5.
Listen
dude.
to a book.
My
the
new
flip-
card is great because it'll read my text
On the
message.
Mine
flip,
does too,
on the
yeah.
flip side, whenever people are trying to get a hold of you and they don't look at the calendar and see that you're in the middle of a shoot, it's
Oh,
like,
that's-
why aren't
that's
you
annoying
replying?
too.
I've done
I'm in
that
a
after
shoot.
now. I-
Yeah,
What are you doing?
people have definitely done that to me.
I'm
where I'm
so
like,
good at that.
They're like, hey, can you cut this thing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Or at
literally
least,
streaming.
yeah, expect that they're not going to reply until
Yeah.
after it. Like, even if you just want to say
Or if
something.
someone
before you
starts a
forget.
stream right when your stream is supposed to be.
I like to text. I like to
I'm
text
pretty upset
Amanda
about
when
that.
she's in the booth, like recording for Disney. I'll just like
Uh-huh.
text like hi, and it's just like whoop, shows up on the screen like
Yeah. Wah.
hi. When she's auditioning with her iPhone, I'm like, what's up? Like
Great husband.
Milo says hi.
Supportive.
From Mo Grant, hey allies, while watching Minigame Champions, which was amazing by the way, I learned to avoid looking at the seek bar at the bottom of the YouTube video to avoid any potential spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I realized that if I noticed that the video was ending before overtime happened, it was easy to figure out who will win, essentially spoiling myself.
Oh.
Something similar also happens with the Fast and Loose internet talk show, all capitalized correctly, and the entire name of the show.
With the ampersand?
Oh no, it was Fast.
Oh, so close.
Let me change it. Oh. There it is, the Fast and Loose Internet Talk Show, because I love how Isla randomly ends each episode whenever she feels like it, and I don't want the surprise ending spoiled for me. I couldn't help but find the fact that I avoid the seek bar on certain videos to be a little ridiculous, so I ask you allies, what's the weirdest thing that has spoiled something for you, and or what's the weirdest thing you do to avoid, or to dodge spoilers? Love and respect, Mo Grant.
I love this question. Sophia and I had a moment, the opposite of this, just the other day. We were watching Annette, the new musical by Leos Carax with, like, Adam Driver and and I was enjoying it. It's hyper literal, so it like takes a minute to like get used to it. But we were watching it, and then I had to go to the bathroom, so we paused it, and then we saw how far into it we were. We thought we were like near the end, and we were an hour in to a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. So it was like the opposite of that, and then we were like, we'll finish it in a different day.
Momentum killer.
It's like Das Boot. We're like making it like a weeks-long enterprise.
That's kind of sick.
But that's like the opposite of what you're talking about. But.
There's like that moment at the end of Usual Suspects where it just kind of hangs, and they're like, hey, so, what's up? And it's like, okay, well, clearly this movie's not over yet.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, tell me about your garage. Yeah, drinking coffee. We're cops, hey. And
Yeah.
you're like, what's happening right now?
Wait a minute.
VODs for like events, like live events, like especially tournaments, like fighting game tournaments. Because when it's like, oh, it's the grand finals, and you know so-and-so has to win this many, and you see the timer, if you go down there and see how long is left, and it's very short, you're like, oh, well, the person who's in the winners won, because there's no way it would have taken that short of a time.
That's rough with just like the times that YouTube shows you. Sometimes if you're like, well, it's only 15 minutes long, so I guess this doesn't
One of the things I've gotten somebody to complain about several times, and I still don't manage to catch it, is Hall of Greats will get spoiled for people because, like, the past broadcast, it will just like use a thumbnail that's from when all the things are on the screen. All the logos are on the screen.
PlayStation
or the
Twitch
last 2 logos will be
thumbnails.
on the screen.
Right.
So they'll know who won. And it's like, I hadn't made the thumbnail yet because it would usually do that the next day. I'm like,
Time to
sorry.
we gotta
That's
redo our
YouTube
layout
on
now.
Twitch.
on Twitch.
Find a way to make it so we don't make the temporary thumbnail a spoiler.
So it's like I have to remember to like, make a thumbnail like before we even
immediately?
stream, so I could like put it up. But even then, like I'm here, so and then I gotta eat dinner and stuff.
I've completely resigned to getting spoiled. It's just a way of life now. It's 2021. It's not 2010.
Who are you?
So I
not
It's all or
still,
nothing. It's black and white.
I still live my life
Fight the
like
good fight.
I try to avoid them
Right.
like hard, but I just take like drastic measures. Like I don't watch movie trailers at all because it's just a spoiler.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really all you can do. But now like I don't let it get to me because again, it's 2021. Spoilers are as common as water. It's out of control.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's so
I think there's some people out there that
stressful.
get spoiled more than they drink water.
It's so stressful trying to like dodge spoilers and all. It's just a stressful thing. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna watch trailers. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I don't like it when, like, HBO, for example, like, thumbnails for next episodes or whatever, like, you're catching up to a show or whatever, and the thumbnail has, like, just characters in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, sometimes it'll be, like, a character that, like, in the episode you're
Right.
on is, like, maybe gonna die, and then the next episode they're like, and you're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
The worst ever was AMC. AMC spoils the shit out of their own shows. Like,
Oh,
I was on
the
season
network.
2 of Breaking Bad. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say what they did, but I was on season 2 of Breaking Bad, and they showed
I love
the
that.
death.
Should have been caught up.
They
This was
showed
so
the
insane.
death of a character
Yeah.
in an ad for
Yeah.
the show I had just started watching, and I was just like,
They didn't
the
give a
fuck?
shit.
Like, oh my god!
Dude,
like,
I-
Desperation.
I have
They did
seen
not
some of those
care.
cable channels like
Oh,
literally
yeah.
be like live tweeting
Oh,
like
yeah.
character reveals. Like if you're like watching something that's like based on a book and you're ready to see like what that character is going to look like in the show. It's like
Yeah.
nope,
There it is.
there it is.
yeah.
Straight up.
That's why you don't look at Twitter
Chris Tales.
Twitter's, yeah, the
talking
obvious
about
version of
things
this.
by length like this.
Oh.
Chris Tales was sort of spoiled for me because they had this preview event that kind of went south. I don't know what was the deal because they're gonna give me like a code where I could like play through the first third of the game, but then they also had like a meeting where they like showed off some later game stuff. The later game stuff they showed was like literally like right before the ending.
Oh, whoa.
And there was no need to show any of that, but because I hadn't gotten to that mechanic yet, it's like, well, I know that this isn't going to be the end, and I know that this isn't going to be the end, and I know that this is like, okay.
Weird.
Darkened Clouds has a perfect one. Shield did this all the time, where they were like, "Hey, you remember season 2, the episode 4? Remember that weird
For
guy
recaps?
that they bump into?
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah, I
weird
don't
guy?
want to skip all recaps, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird episode, huh? And you're like, yes. And then like this episode
Oh,
starts, and they're like,
yeah.
we're getting a signal from some strange location. You're
Right.
like, I wonder who's gonna be there.
Or
We're going to that location.
like they show like
Skip
like
recaps.
someone getting a letter or something again from like 6 episodes ago. You're like, well, I guess that's relevant.
Skip recaps, don't watch trailers.
But that's the thing, though. It's like a double-edged sword because it's like you kind of, if you're watching the show live, like you kind of need some of those
Sometimes,
recaps
yeah.
and stuff for like 3 years ago.
What show?
Shout out to Cora, who like actually has themed like, hey, what's up? I'm the guy. I do the
Yeah.
recaps of every episode, and he's like actually a character in the world. He actually there was one really bad Cora episode where it was just like, remember this? It was like memberberry episode. But at the beginning, he was like, it's been a pleasure announcing these. I just want to say, Cora fans, I'll see you later.
There was some
Yeah,
show,
love that
I can't
guy.
remember if it was Watchmen or what, where they did it without words. It was like really stylized and more just like...
And really quick, yeah.
Yeah, really fast and to music and more of just like a mood reminder. It just
Yeah,
like gets
dope.
your headspace into this thing and then it goes. That was cool.
It's dope.
Life is Strange trailers. Any of the, yeah.
Yeah.
Telltale. I never
Don't
watched
watch any
any of those
trailers.
trailers.
I like...
Never scored them on a trailer show. You know, I was like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah.
So spoilery.
Yeah.
It's always
Oh.
fun when you go back after watching something or beating something and then you see a trailer again and you're like,
They
you're
showed
like,
the whole
shit,
game.
that's the last shot of the movie. That is literally the last
Yeah.
shot of the movie.
Yep.
And they fixed this on PlayStation 5, but on PS4, and I think they still do it. They're like, hey, look at all these Twitch streams. And you're like,
Oh,
thanks for that
God,
screenshot.
yeah.
Like,
That
I
was
feel
the
bad because
worst.
it's not the fault of the person streaming.
Well, and what's funny too,
That
though,
was so
many jerks.
when you're talking about recognizing something like that,
Yeah.
like so many times when we get called out for spoilers, and like it's not a spoiler unless you know what it means.
Right.
I'm sorry, Alec, can you read that one from Logic Error? I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Logic error. Oh.
I can't.
Logic error says, at opening night live, it was revealed Jeff Keighley will have a cameo in the Muppets Haunted Mansion movie. If you could have a cameo in any movie franchise, which would it be? And is there a special way you would like to make your appearance? Thanks, Ally.
I want to be a singing head in a Muppet Haunted Mansion movie. That'd be pretty cool. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, he's like in a Muppet movie. He's in a Muppet Haunted Mansion movie.
It's everything.
Referencing things that were already referencing something else.
Related to the last
With a mustache.
question.
I'm sorry.
Related to the last question. Oh yeah, opening night live. Halo was spoiled for me by not being in the Xbox conference.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's funny.
Jones, what irritates you? What makes you feel more upset? This Keeley thing, or when someone's biking on the sidewalk against traffic with headphones on and no helmet?
This.
We found it.
Because that person that's biking the wrong way, that's ignoring traffic laws, they're gonna get in trouble at some point, man. They're gonna, it's like statistically.
Right,
whereas
right,
Keeley's
right.
just gonna, he can't be stopped.
And do you think Keeley?
Him and his Muppet quote unquote fandom.
Yeah,
I actually
yeah.
think, he's got to be a gigantic Muppet fan. You just can't stop.
You can't tell with Keeley. You really can't.
For me, a Guillermo del Toro movie, obviously.
Oh,
Any movie
yeah.
at all. Just meeting that man.
Just
would
like
be a
a
dream.
monster, just a corpse in the corner, like
Yeah,
gyrating on the floor.
a corpse in a Guillermo movie. Yes, 10 out of 10. I want to be on the slab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of,
Nude?
and they cut into you,
Anything
and
Guillermo
it cuts
wants.
away to reactions of people going,
Yeah.
And then
Hell
someone lifts
yeah.
up the sheet and they're like, oh.
Whatever happened to Silence of the Lambs, like in the nostrils? I never saw that again in another movie. They never did that again. And they hand it around in the Silence of the Lambs scene like it's,
What are you talking about?
Smelling
Silence of the Lambs,
salts.
when
Oh.
we do the
Right? Oh, and
smelling
that
salts
little...
when you used to wake
They,
somebody
they
up.
put
little-
that
yeah.
camphor or whatever on
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
so they don't smell the bodies.
Yeah.
I've never seen that on CSI. I've never seen that in NCIS,
It's like an
Law
old
and Order.
School, yeah, an old school
Yeah.
thing. Geez, what do I want? What would I want to be on?
David Lynch something.
Well, that'd be pretty great.
You're the end of the next Outer Wilds DLC. Like, it's you.
Oh.
You're there
That's-
You
with
find
your
an egg in
synth.
space and it cracks and it's you with like a beak. Like,
You have to follow this like
I have so
musical
many
transmission.
questions.
You have to follow the music and it ends up being you on the
You
synth.
do that, and
Yeah.
so there's some stuff though where it's like I wouldn't want to sully it with my presence, you know. Like I'm
Sure.
like, no, just do your thing. Like I don't want a part of this. But like being in like a Twin Peaks thing would be funny, because it's like whatever.
After the fact.
I don't speak Japanese, but if I could be a filler character in one episode of Boruto,
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
so sick.
You can do it. Like in the background.
Yeah.
I'd like to be in like Denis Villeneuve something, or like if Alejandro Jodorowsky made a thing, I would just like show up and be there. He'd make me get naked though. I don't think I'd want to do that.
Yeah.
It's for a sexual man.
Did you ever see the was it Deep Space Nine that went back to the original Star Trek in the Triples episode?
Oh yeah.
And like snuck in
I think, or
to
was
the
that
Enterprise
Voyager?
to fix something.
Hmm.
I think it might have been Voyager.
It might have been
Voyager or
Voyager.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we were.
they
Yeah, he was in Uncharted. That's
So
right.
was Blowing Bossman.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
it might have been Deep Space Nine. But they pitched the show. The special effects people on the episode pitched it, and they called in a producer and they were like, "Watch this episode." They're like, "Do you recognize this?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's Tribbles. It's classic." And they're like, well, "Watch it again." And he like watched it again, like, "Okay." Oh! And like they were in it, like in the corner, like by a computer. And he's like, "What did you do?" And they're like, "We thought we might be able to do this," and we like put us into old episodes of Star Trek, and we'd love to do that with
I love
an
that.
episode. But
DS9.
there's
yeah.
a cameo. Just make it happen. Special effects people. All Dark Mirror episodes.
Ooh, that would be fun to have. Hubert, it'd be really fun to be in a Dark Pictures
Anthology.
anthology
yeah.
game together. That would be so. Just like get killed off or something. Be
Yeah.
like.
Because you driving in a
Kill me in
car.
the-
Yeah, like
Credits.
pull up at like a gas station together. Be like, hey, do you know where the? Oh my god! And just be like-
We're the murderer that kicks off the whole event.
Yeah. We get eaten by like a pterodactyl man or something. And we're just like, okay, that would be awesome.
From Richard G. Flowers, hey girl and guys, I mainly just wanted to swing by, say love y'all, but since I'm here, I guess I'll ask. If you had the resources gifted by magic and the knowledge and expertise painlessly implanted into your brain, what kind of film would you direct if you could make one today? Love and respect,
Oh, God.
Richard. I don't understand why we need more magic and I guess
Wait,
resources.
Damiani, did
sure.
you have one for that previous question?
You wanted
If
What
you
would
could be
you
a
cameo
cameo
in?
in anything?
Oh. We should all just be zombies in Resident Evil 4 remake somewhere.
Good call.
We should be, just put us in a special room or whatever.
Jones then could
Oh.
actually do VO and say, yo!
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so what's the question?
If you could make a movie, any kind of movie, I'd make 3. I'd make a trilogy.
I mean, I want to
Fear
make
Street
movies,
trilogy, let's go.
So I've got all kinds of movies I want to make.
Yeah.
I'd do a sci-fi trilogy like Fear Street.
Because I think there are movies I might be able to make someday. I think I can maybe do it, but there's no way. Because if I literally had like a golden ticket and I could cash it in.
I'm gonna go to Dick.
And that is a 6-hour, 3-part. It'd be really be a miniseries, more of a televised kind of thing. But live action Final Fantasy VI, just the story of Final Fantasy VI told in 6 hours,
Sorry,
3
Final
parts.
Fantasy
Yep.
I've got.
Or
We-
CG. CG would be cool too.
Do you have like
Probably more
casting
expensive.
ideas already, Joe?
No,
Okay,
I'm like,
okay.
well, I talked about this the other day, but it was the guy who's in the movie about disco in the 70s with Ewan McGregor, where he's like a big fan of this guy. It's like Velvet Goldmine.
Oh,
Velvet
yeah.
Goldmine? He is the star that he's following. He was also in Titus. He was one of the brothers.
The show Titus?
No, the movie Titus with
Julie
Anthony Hopkins.
Taymor's-
That.
Oh, love that
Um,
movie.
He's-
Alan Cumming?
No, he's a just very, very attractive British actor. He's got a very nice chin.
That guy, yeah.
He'd make a great Kafka. I always thought he would make a very.
Oh, yeah, he would.
He's worn lots of makeup in his theatrical career, but
My current dream movie that I just don't see getting a sequel, but I want it above all sequels, is Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, yeah.
So let's
Oh,
get
cool.
another one.
yeah,
Like,
one of these days I'll finish that movie.
so much potential.
Cut Hugo out. That's a great movie.
Incredible amount of potential there.
I've finished 3 feature film scripts, and I've got 2 other ones like almost done. I want to make those.
Yeah, you know exactly. So that's,
But like, if we're talking like fancy free, jeez. Oh, there are a lot of like books that I would want to make. A lot of different stuff. I just want to make movies, man. I would love it.
That Last Starfighter sequel, I'm glad that's happening. Supposedly, Gary Whitta's been
really?
working on that with the creator of Last Starfighter. And they like released a bunch of art and stuff.
I think that this book called 14 would make a good like HBO show.
14.
It's about like an old apartment building that all these people live in, but then they realize slowly that the building is like weird and that it's like
It's
like a H.P. Lovecraft like Cthulhu engine thing. It's crazy.
It's like kind of it's like in the basement. Kinda?
Yeah.
I read that.
You read that?
Yeah. It's all the people in the building kind of come together. It's
it's
kinda
really good.
It's kind of like Batteries Not Included.
Yeah,
Everybody's
It
ever
feels
seen that
like
back in the
really
day.
fun vibes like that. It's really it's cute.
It's a very
cute book.
neighborly kind of book. It's like
I
like
think
the Burbs, where like all the neighbors kind of get together. And,
I think that'd be really
Something's
fun
wrong.
to make into an HBO series. It has a sequel called The Fold, and then there was a third one that was really weird and different.
Yes. It's one of those things where like there are a bunch of different books, but then you realize, oh, they are all in
they're
the
all
same
connected,
universe,
like,
but
oh, okay.
not really.
I feel like
It's
every
kinda like
Lovecraft story
Lovecraft
is
Country,
so
but-
similar. Like
Sorta.
they don't know they're in a genjutsu.
Well, that's what I liked about 14.
Ooh, it's a genjutsu.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I liked about 14 is like the characters in the book literally reference Lovecraft and they're like, yeah, he just saw that shit.
Yeah.
Like that's why he wrote that stuff because he saw it. Like he exists. Like it takes place in our reality.
Got it.
Which I like.
The Lovecraft shit. We can dive into that. That's
Lovecraft,
Yeah.
a horrible,
I'll
That
shade
hack.
Lovecraft anytime.
horrible racist
that
man.
hack
I will
Lovecraft.
shade Lovecraft anytime.
Like
All right.
cool stories, whatever, but
Yeah.
horrible racist.
That Henry Ford, great cars, but horrible.
Yeah.
Um,
God
I'll
almighty.
shade
Like
Fords
Lovecraft
anytime.
it's not even like it's not even like thinly veiled. Like some of his stories are just like, oh.
Ugh.
Ugh.
You know, at the end of part 1, Tara turns into the pink thing and flies off. Everybody like falls off the cliff, like, oh no! And then Locke's like, no! She's like flying away, and the last shot's Locke, like on the edge of the cliff, like, come back, Tara. Credits to be continued. So exciting.
I do have so many Lovecraftian board games at my house. It's like not even funny.
From Tirjuengi, hello allies, Nintendo, Capcom, and Sega, and many other companies are well known for their iconic sound effects. Can you guys give some shout outs to some less known ones for having good sound effects?
Resident Evil.
Love and respect.
Games
Less
with great sound
known.
effects?
Resident Evil's lesser known
Companies
game.
with
Yeah.
great sound
Yeah.
effects.
Oh.
Yeah, the
From
Doom
Capcom.
door. The Doom door
Oh
opening
yeah, my
sound
god.
effect.
id Software, amazing sound effects.
The Konami.
Konami, I was gonna say early
Yeah.
Konami, like Silent Hill, Castlevania,
The metal
Suikoden.
slug, like shotgun.
Yeah,
Like,
all of it. So good. Like, and remember
Chun-Li.
the old, remember the
That was
old
always,
like
haunts my dreams.
Capcom logo that comes up out of the like blocks. I loved that one.
The Ascent death sounds.
Oh yeah,
The best death
Sweet
sounds.
Justice.
The best death sounds I've heard in ages. It's unbelievable. And it's non-stop. It's so good.
Silent Hill
Someone just
Resident Evil.
posted. I hadn't played it in a while, and I noticed it, but I never really like took the time to notice it. The reloading of the plasma rifle in Doom 3. Have you heard this thing? It's absolutely incredible. The like canister, the way it comes out, it's like, and like you hear the cannon, the empty one, like drop on the floor and like rattle
Oh, yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I love it. Good like Day of Defeat. Like I still remember reloading like the M1 Garand or whatever.
Oh,
It
nice.
just sounds like so.
Oh, hell yeah.
And just, yeah, the first Call of Duty, like the beach at Normandy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like.
Allied Assault.
Shout out to
This
really?
is Normandy
Oh, yeah, the
Beach,
Medal
not
of
Call of
Honor.
Duty.
Punch and
For sure.
kick
You're
sound
mistaken.
effects in Kung Fu for NES.
What? Yeah.
It's like super. It's like a.
Dude, video games have so many great sounds. Like Mario, like oh man, everything.
Dude, Sonic Spin Dash.
Mm-hmm. Top tier, dude. Yeah, dude.
What about slamming into cars in Gran Turismo 3? It's just like boom, like bumper cars. It's kind of satisfying.
Yeah, that cat is an
Me
incredibly
playing
racist name.
Goonies 2 at
that
Easy
cat.
Living was a trip. There were just so many. I was like, yep. There's so many like things, like boxes my brain was checking. Like I remember that and that and that. So
Oh, yeah.
I've been storing that way back there.
I
Goonies
fired up
2.
the Diablo 2 beta and then couldn't play it just because of everything going on. It just
Right.
felt weird. But the theme music just took me back to like when I was 12 or whatever. I was like, oh man, Myst. Every sound in Myst is like burned into my mind.
From Mikhail Anyel. Hello, Easy Allies. Finally, a mini version of the Amiga 500 will be released. I hope the games include, and I think they've already announced what games are going to be in there, but maybe they haven't.
I don't think they've announced everything.
Settlers, which I think they did announce, or maybe somebody brought that up in the
No,
podcast.
Sony brought that up. They didn't.
Lotus
include that.
Esprit Turbo Challenge. Lotus Turbo Challenge 2. Lotus 3, the Ultimate Challenge.
Give me Lotus Notes.
And there's no Lotus 4, or at least Mikhail doesn't mention it, so that was it. That was the Ultimate Challenge. Sensible Soccer. Super Frog. The Secret of Monkey Island, hell yeah. Turrican and Double Dragon. What games would you like to see? Love and respect.
Wasn't
Might
Lotus
as well add Double Dragon 2 and 3 in there. Shit.
I don't
Let's
know
go.
I wonder if they were on.
I thought
Oh,
Lotus was on.
yeah. I played the NES versions. They might have been, though. They were arcade, NES.
It's crazy. In that, like, 8-bit
Wonder-
era, like, there were some licensed games that were on, like, 11 different consoles, and they were all different versions. Like,
Yeah.
all the sprites looked different, and the
Yep.
colors, and everything. It was crazy.
Absolutely.
And we were doing retros. I'm like, I'd love to get that
Oh,
game, but
yeah.
I can't. You know, it's like, I couldn't get half of these things up and running if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new VR remaster of Myst is out.
Have you
on,
played?
on 2D.
You can step into the world of Myst.
I've played in VR, yeah.
It's sick.
It's awesome. It's some of the puzzles are really hard though, like the one where you have to do a bunch of dates and times, like really specific dates and times
Yeah.
in the like star thing, because I kept having to be like writing down notes. You know?
yeah,
And be like,
yeah, shit. Oh my gosh.
It was really weird. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it was like there was like some
You're
kind
gonna
of
say
like
something.
crazy noises happening when we didn't know where they were coming from. I'll investigate it.
Yeah, we don't really have any experience with the Amiga. It is entirely like a European phenomenon. Like there's
When was the original release?
Is there an Asterix Obelix game for it?
I'm sure there is.
When did the original come out?
I want to say like 88 or 89, somewhere in that space.
That was 1 or 2.
But it wasn't even a thing that, like, at that point, essentially Windows was starting, like, you're going from DOS to Windows, and that was sort of starting to take over
DOS,
the PC
dude.
space.
I had Doom 2 on floppy disks.
Oh,
Jolly.
July
Oh my
23rd,
God, Joe.
1985. See, I don't even have a clue. Like,
It's like a stack of floppies.
around that era, I had a Commodore 64, and I had some games on that. But see, when they came out with the Commodore 64 Mini, I looked through that list and I'm like, none of the stuff I played is on here. You know, it felt like a bunch of random games to me. But a lot of the stuff I played back then was a bunch of random stuff because you would get like, it was almost like PlayStation Magazine.
Yeah.
To where like you would get like this
Freeware.
subscription of like, oh, this, you know, you get this disc every month, the
Yeah.
Lodestar disc.
Of course.
And it's like whatever's on that, that's what I'm playing.
So sick.
But then we would, you know, also play like Maniac Mansion and, you know, Pool of Radiance and some other stuff like that. But a lot of those things that like were big games for me were not on that Mini at all. So I'm curious, you know, as they're saying with the Amiga Mini, like, are they going to have the big hitters? Or are they just going to have what, you know, they can put on the system?
Do you think it is incredibly unreasonable to have like 100 games on this thing? Is that even possible? Like, is there
I
enough?
would doubt it, yeah.
Possible? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that stuff is tiny. Like, you
Right.
know, like,
Yeah. Like they should just blow it up. Have like almost the entire catalog.
like
dude.
the 3.5 inch
Celebrate
disc
it.
was a 1.44 megs.
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many?
Talking about floppies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love floppies.
Just Amiga. I was just wondering if you could have just like the whole catalog on there and it just being like the celebration of the Amiga. Here it all
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Like that would get me hyped.
Our Commodore 64, we did not have a cassette drive. We had a regular disc drive, but we did have a modem, which I'm not even sure. Like, I think it's like just one of those things where like my dad just blew a bunch of money that they didn't have on, and so
Gotta have a good
I
modem.
really don't think we ever even realistically did anything with that modem.
Yeah, it's licensing. It'll probably be.
Yeah, get hung up on that.
But I think it's even harder. Like Nintendo, when they put out a Mini, like, sure, like they can get some of those big hitters, some of that stuff. Whereas, yeah, are they really gonna pursue like Maniac Mansion from, you know,
Right.
from Disney, I guess, like, since they have Lucas.
Right.
Disney. Goodness.
From Danky Kang, bonjour, allies. Last month I asked about your experiences with 4 lesser-known PS1 games, to which the allies presented had not played any of.
That was insane. I was like,
Well,
what the hell
sounds
are
bad.
All
these?
right.
So I'm back for round 2. Yeah, I don't know these. So I'm back for round 2 with 4 more lesser-known PS1 games, which I have listed below. I'm curious to know your thoughts on these games. Did you play them? And if so, do you have any good memories to share? Unfortunately, I would need to unsub for the foreseeable future, but I hope to be back someday. Maybe next time we'll do PS2 games.
Yeah, that's my wheelhouse. PS1, I
Treasures-
got so late. I had N64.
Treasures of the Deep.
Nope.
Heard of
PlayStation
it.
1. Treasures of the Deep.
Never played.
Never played. Gekido. It's listed as Huberbait.
Yeah, that's. I think I played the. They remastered it recently, or there was like a. It's the dude on the cover, right?
The dude on the cover.
Hold on. I'll tell you in a sec. Yeah, I just played this. I was on the Switch eShop. Gekido Kintaro's Revenge. Is that the same one, or is that a sequel?
Probably not the same one.
Okay. I played
G-E-K-I-D-O.
Kintaro's Revenge.
Gekido Urban Fighters, maybe?
That's probably the one, yeah. Yeah, I played Kintaro's Revenge, not Urban Fighters. It was sick.
I have a feeling that Gekido could, like, there could be multiple games that are not related to each other.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
This
know.
art
Kind of like River
definitely
City, where
looks-
it's just like so expansive.
This art definitely looks familiar. Gekido Urban
It doesn't look like it's
Fighters.
getting a signal from whatever you're, because there's no lights on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Plug the PC.
Motor Tune Grand
Don't worry about it.
Prix.
We'll just
Oh,
use
wow.
our phones. Motor
Motor
Tune?
Tune Grand
Don't
Prix.
know.
Alright. Blast Chamber.
No.
Wait.
That sounds good, but I don't know what it is.
Yo,
I might
Gekido
have
Urban
played
Fighters
Blast
features the
Chamber.
music of Fatboy Slim.
Oh,
Dude, Blast Chamber's like a.
Blast Chamber I've played. Yeah, I played it.
It's
I
like
think I had it
Smash
on a.
TV, but like 3D, and you rotate the
You
rooms.
rotate the
cube.
room.
They're
Oh,
cube
wow.
rooms.
I think I had it on a demo disc. I never owned it, but I think it was on one of those like, you know, sick ass demo discs. Blast Chamber, dude.
Normally I would close with love and respect, but after rewatching the first podcast episode, I will instead choose to say, kick some cheese tonight. Thank you, thank you.
Back to the Amiga, another Commodore 64 game that was kind of a heavy hitter for me. The first Test Drive,
Oh.
like you.
First one was on Amiga?
No, it's on well, it might have been on Amiga.
Cool.
Probably was.
Commodore?
64.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I think I played Test Drive on Super Nintendo. Boy, the frame rate for that was...
Were they really one on Super Nintendo? I bet there would have been. Yeah.
Remember, there was something I played on Super... There was some racing game I played on Super Nintendo that I was like 1 frame per second. It was
But yeah,
awesome.
you're basically
Like,
just
play the
like
hell out
going
of
up
it, man. It's
mountain
great.
roads.
Oh yeah.
In like Love is the first car I've ever seen, or first game I've ever seen a Lotus in. But there's a Lotus, there's a Ferrari, there's a Porsche, and there was a Lamborghini.
That's sick.
Midnight Sun's gonna be like
I'm always a fan of the
XCOM.
Elise, Lotus Elise.
And then you'd have to like watch. There was like a cop radar detector thing. You like watch for the signal, see if the cops,
Sick.
and then the cops would come up behind
Oh, I love that.
you. It was very much like Need for Speed before Need for Speed.
Love
Very
police
cool.
chases in games. 10 out of 10.
I just rewatched the beginning
Of Drive.
of Drive.
I knew you were gonna
How
do
did
that.
you know
I knew
that?
you were going there. It's obvious.
Where he's listening to the
Yeah,
police
yeah, yeah.
scanner and the ball game to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
time things out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good. And I rewatched the beginning of Baby Driver.
Nice.
Very good.
The beginning scene of Drive, Jones, it is GTA. Like when I
Sure,
play
yeah,
GTA
yeah, yeah.
5,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think of that scene so much because I'll like bust into a parking structure and just
Yeah.
like park and
Yeah.
the cops will drive by. It's perfect.
Yeah, he sniffed me, dude. Hell, that was incredible.
We're on a movie podcast together.
That's true. We're on a podcast together.
From Varun Kachwaha, what is your favorite game that you have never finished and probably will never finish? The game's release date is not allowed to be within this year. For me,
Got
it's
easy one.
Folklore, the 2007 game on the PS3. I remember playing the demo so many times, I even managed to buy it once. The aesthetics of that game just drew me in, but for some reason I just never finished it, and I probably never will now, considering it's a PS3 exclusive game, not on PS Now. But it's a game that I occasionally think about.
This is a
Dead
great
Rising
question.
2, I talked about the other day.
I haven't.
Not going back to Dead Rising 2. As fun as it was.
For me, one of my favorite games of all time, I've never technically finished all the way, is Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mine's
Oh, wow.
mine's a Final Fantasy too.
Yeah.
Love that game.
Yep.
I've played the first like 70% of it
It's a
like
big game.
6 times.
Yeah.
And then like whatever console I was playing it on got like outdated. and then like I didn't feel like finishing it on my phone, so I'm just waiting for it on Switch. Like that's why I want it on Switch so bad, because I want to finish the damn thing.
Just pick any Fire Emblem or Paper Mario game for me. I'm actually working through Origami King because the last couple of trips I've been poking at it, and so now I'm probably gonna finish it up.
I never beat that. Yeah.
We'll find out. But yeah, I've never finished one of those games.
I think we had a question recently where someone asked what you never finished because you didn't want it to stop. Tactics might be that for me, because like I don't want to know how it stops.
It's like almost eternal in your brain now because you never finished it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. It's a game I've been playing my entire life.
Yeah. I have tried so many freaking times, and I really thought I was going to do it last year or maybe the year before because they remastered it. Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, yeah.
One of my
I
favorite
never beat that
games
either.
ever.
Got it on Switch, yeah.
One of my favorite video games ever. I love the mood. I love the vibes. I love the characters. I love everything about that game, and I've tried so many times, and I've never finished.
What is it about Evilise that keeps us from finishing
I know.
these games?
I want to finish Vagrant Story.
Ah!
Oh man.
I
Story's
stopped
great.
Vagrant Story because it was like the episode of the retrospective was on 12, and I played Vagrant Story just to have footage and
Yeah.
talk about it, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Vagrant Story is the
I
only
can't
of
play
those
more. I got to
three-
back away.
I've actually beaten Vagrant Story.
Vagrant Story is
I loved it. I loved it. Back
yeah.
then.
Evilise is a bunch of hits.
It's
in that
just
world.
such a
Yeah.
good
All
vibe.
the
Like that
games in
world,
are all
the
pretty great.
color palette of Evilise is so
So cozy.
I'll never finish Skyrim.
Nah.
good. Yeah, I haven't gotten
Okay.
past hour 2 of Skyrim.
But I
I
mean,
don't
that's the
remember
funny thing with Skyrim, though. It's like, I mean, if you want to finish it, it's
That-
not going to
I mean,
take that
yeah.
long.
It was last year, so it's not within the year. Even if you go back a year, I think we're past the year mark. Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've got a list. Of those. I've got a list of those
Yes.
Sony games.
Death Stranding I loved, but no.
He
I
was,
played
that
he
long.
was
Love the trend.
I
offended.
played the beginning
got a
of
good
Ghost, and I
ending.
played the beginning of Horizon, and I have not gotten like past the first like 4 hours.
Death Stranding.
And they like still kind of stacked up on my list. And like, oh, I want to get back to that.
3 out of the, or 4 out of the 5 endings that Death Stranding has are really good.
Megadet says, I've never enjoyed the mainline Super Mario Brothers games. Zing! Although I have admiration for Mario Kart. The last time I tried it was Odyssey. I got maybe a few hours in before boredom set in, and then I was forced to escape to Sekiro. Having returned to the local game store where I bought it, I gave an honest answer to the shop manager when he queried my enjoyment of Odyssey. They responded saying, "You're playing it wrong. When, if ever, have you been on the wrong side of gaming right?"
You're not playing it
Every
wrong, but
day.
I am shocked. Like,
You're playing a game right if you identify that you're bored and play
And
something
stop.
else.
Yeah.
You
And
did it.
stop.
You
Yeah.
did it. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That you
Don't
be
be
proud
pressured.
of yourself.
Play how you want to play.
Yeah, I did that to Sekiro.
But I think that there
This
are
wasn't-
things that,
yeah,
I mean,
for
when
me.
you're saying you're playing wrong, I'm curious what that was even referencing.
Yeah, how can you play Mario wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I could see Odyssey because there's so many
Oh.
of those.
Yeah, I feel like
the
banging your
rooms
head
or
against
whatever,
the wall
yeah.
to try to get something.
Yeah, if you're trying to like collect everything, then it, like you're just
Yeah.
instead of moving on,
Yeah, that game is definitely meant to just like go through and enjoy it and then come back.
Because I
and
never
clean
did
up.
get everything in that because there were just
Oh,
so
no.
many different things. I just eventually just ended up moving
Well,
on.
Y'all
honestly-
kept lore breaking, changing Cloud's weapons in Remake, man. I played that game right. Played it right.
You played it canonically right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Odyssey is a weird one because it's like really easy to beat. Like most of the main game is easy, but then it gets really hard after that. Like the complaints of reviews I remember being like, it's too easy. It's
I
like,
really
no,
enjoyed
it's
Odyssey,
not.
but neither of the Galaxy games has like really made me like, oh, I gotta play this. You know, like they look like a lot of fun. I'm not saying they're not fun. I'm good. Just
Amazing.
never, yeah. And again, that's one of those things.
3D Land was like that for me, or World. Which one do I hate? Whatever. One of those.
World. 3D Land is 3DS.
Yeah.
World is Wii U.
Yeah. The
Like
one
an
where you
old
can
American,
jump
which
on
one
each
do
other.
I hate?
Which one do I hate?
New
That's
Super
right.
Mario Brothers. Wii.
New Super Mario Brothers Wii U.
Yell it from the rooftop.
That game is garbage. Yeah, Nier Automata is one that I beat that I wish I.
Yeah, Nier Automata for me, I guess. I liked what I played. I got like 5 hours in. Obviously, you got to play way more. But I just have no desire. I'm
I
sorry.
beat every ending of that game, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm on the wrong side. for
Yeah,
that
people
one.
get mad at me for that.
Yeah.
one. People get mad at me because I don't like Last of Us. Like, people get mad at you for whatever. It doesn't matter. People are gonna be mad.
People are always mad.
Yeah. People are. Omar said to me the other day about the people on the internet. People are hungry to hate.
Yeah. Looking for a reason.
Yeah, looking for a reason,
Waiting
dude.
for a fight.
Take it easy.
From Robert Lee. Hello, allies. I regret watching the recent Spider-Man trailer because I wanted to go into the movie blind, but curiosity got the best of me on this occasion. I went into it.
Highest viewed trailer now beat Endgame already.
Hey!
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I think they're going to mess it up.
That's
I went into
awesome.
Avengers Infinity War and Endgame without having watched any trailers or media beforehand, and I believe I had a better experience not knowing anything. I wish I could experience them again for the first time. Have you noticed any difference when going media blackout versus watching trailers and media before watching a movie or TV show? Love and respect, Robert Lee. Yeah, we were just...
Yeah, I don't watch trailers.
It's better. I prefer
They
going
tee up
in.
the whole movie.
I prefer going in without knowing.
Yep.
Knowing as little as possible.
It was Game of Thrones season 1 versus season 2 was fascinating because I didn't know anything and got all gripey about stuff that Amanda knew because she'd read the first book. And then in between seasons 1 and 2, I read all of it, and then went into season 2 and was like, I literally cannot tell if this is a different show or if I changed, if I just know what's going to happen. Or it was interesting to just totally morph my viewing experience, like
Game of Thrones
in a season break,
Like,
not to bring that energy into the room.
oh god. Just
Don't watch it.
Talking about spoilers and trailers for me, it's just like, by actively trying so hard to avoid them, I don't have the time to raise my expectations for the movie I'm gonna see. So that's how I feel like I always go into movies with a clean slate, a blank slate, so I can make up my own mind, my own opinion. I just try to remove myself from the hype, the pre-hype, the pre-conversation, all the trailers, everything. So that's what I try to do. It's getting harder and harder now as everything is just, the floodgates have opened on everywhere for everything. But
that's what I'm like for me it's a little bit about the story and stuff, and I don't want to see that stuff, but yeah, mostly it's about like I don't want people telling me that Parasite is the greatest movie ever made, right? Like, because then I go in expecting
the greatest movie ever made.
And it's like, that movie's fantastic, but I don't want it to have to try to live up to anything while I'm watching it, you know?
Yeah. It almost feels like...
It's like better when you hear people not like a movie.
Yeah.
Because then you go in expecting trash, and then you can just have fun.
Totally. It feels like the internet is one big race to consume the property before everyone else, so you can be the one who is like, it's the greatest thing of all time, it's the best.
Right.
And then everyone catches up and is like, oh, it's fine. It's just the cycle. It's crazy.
That's the thing though that I think is funny, because I feel like the internet has totally changed how the trailer game works, right? Because
yeah.
That's right.
2021, here we are.
Dude.
Yeah, well, you talk about too,
like
all the like casting news and stuff that people break. I would have never seen that. I would have never cared. Like, I didn't know about a movie existing until I went into another movie.
Yeah.
And I saw it in the previews, and then I would be psyched.
Yeah.
And that would be the only thing I'd ever see except for a TV commercial.
The worst
It's
now.
so good.
These pre-trailer hype trailers before
Yes.
trailers
Yeah,
on
that's
YouTube.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
The trailer's spoiled before you watch the trailer now.
Before the trailer spoils the movie. It's like, wow.
It's trailer.
Because people have such short attention spans, they need to get their rocks off like right away.
But if the trailer has a trailer before the trailer, but then I need to let you know 24 hours in advance, you make sure that you're online to watch the trailer, so then I have the trailer.
And then when the trailer comes out, before the movie's even out, everyone's talking about the sequel already.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You know?
the trailer thing is not because necessarily attention spans. It's because
you're scrolling
It's
through.
because that's how YouTube serves ads. Because trailers can be classified as ads. So if you qualify for like a short ad, it will show, and like the skip button on the ad on YouTube, you'll guarantee get that part of it before they can skip.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So it's like, it's a freaking, I hate this.
But that's what I also love, like, speaking of Guillermo, man, like, I love that guy.
Yeah.
One of the most painful things I've ever seen him do was like some ad pre-roll for Crimson Peak. And it just
He had a hard
cuts
time
to the
selling
trailer.
that movie.
Just like comes to the trailer and he's like, hello, I was like, wow, you do not want to be here right now. Oh no.
Because
every
they
bone in his
him.
body, his tone, his eyes. I was
They
like,
effed
no.
him. They were marketing it as
Get
a
out of the
horror
room.
movie. Everyone before that movie came out was like, it's a horror movie, Guillermo, horror.
Yeah.
It's a gothic romance. It's not a freaking horror movie. And everyone wanted him to market it as that, so that's why he's probably pissed.
A bloody ghost does come out of the floor and go.
It's not a horror movie.
It has some scares.
It's not a horror movie.
I saw it, though. That red snow looks really good.
But Damiani,
corpses
what
now,
you're
really.
saying is like, if that's kind of the reasoning that like they use the actual trailer upload as the same thing that the ads reference, well, that's why the Spider-Man has so many more views.
Yeah.
If it's just getting used as ads on everybody else's videos.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been around
Yeah.
since before Endgame, though.
But what he said.
But this
But you're
Spider-Man
paying for
qualifies
placement. So
Yeah.
there was
But
That was
those
also
each
actually
count.
that video itself. Yeah,
That's a
that's
good bit.
crazy.
yeah.
I don't know for sure.
My God.
It's out of control.
Got it. That trailer bit
Yes,
smartly.
let's start putting our review scores. I like that idea. Put in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's out of control. Right
Brian from Happy Gaming. Hello there, allies. It's time once again for the Easy A dating game. Last month, well, I can't seem to remember a winner from last month. Something about Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's just call it no contest because I'm pretty sure there were no winners there whatsoever. I'm pretty sure the allies are all fed up when talking about the potential dating of animal-like characters. As we may have another one you'll need to get through this month. Maybe a certain white wolf, for instance? That's right. This month, a white wolf named Geralt of Rivia and the cast of Witcher is on the table for consideration of dating the easy allies. Personally, Zoltan always seemed like a very nice friend and companion, and would always have your back any way you needed it. But in this world, there are plenty of companions to choose from. But come on, Yennefer, Triss, Kira Metz, Ciri. There are lots of characters in Witcher 3 alone, and I'm sure Bloodworth will be able to help everyone recall the most dateable. Remember, everyone has to agree, and the characters are at the adult age you envision in your head canon. Good luck, allies.
You forgot the hunkiest of them all because he wasn't in Witcher
Well,
3,
they only
so people
listed a
missed
few
him.
of them.
Yorvith.
Yeah.
We're dating Yorvith.
I'd say Yennefer. She seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders.
Yennefer is super hot.
Yennefer is dramatic.
She's like disciplined.
Yennefer's more
though.
for me. I was like,
Huh?
Triss was hard to say no to, but Yennefer, I was like,
Triss.
from what I can tell, I think it's supposed to be Yennefer, but
Yeah.
Yorvith.
Try to
Triss
get it
seems
right.
fun, but
But that Triss is
Yennefer. I don't
that
know.
Triss is a cutie. At least in 3. 3's the only one I played.
How old is Ciri? Is she grown up?
In 3.
Well, I guess they say that it's whatever.
Yeah,
Ciri,
I mean-
Ciri's cool.
He's got some history. I don't know if you want to deal
Oh,
with
okay.
that.
Well, then
Damaged goods.
Yennefer seems like she would like tell you what to do, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if any of these.
Well, yeah,
people
that's
are
the
a good
real
idea.
answer. It's like these
Witcher's
guys all
a messed
suck.
up world.
Would you agree with Yorvith? Do you have any
Yorvith.
really strong here?
The thing
Brad
is,
would
like,
agree.
Saskia would be fun, but there's spoiler reasons for that.
Okay, okay.
So.
Sexy spoilers.
I don't know who Yorvith is.
He's in 2.
Yorvith is a elf rebel.
Yo, let me
Yeah.
bring up a picture
Yeah,
of this
bring up a
hottie.
picture of
I
Yorvith.
get him confused with the guy from Dragon Age that they keep showing. Or is that somebody new? Like in the new Dragon Age, there's like the villain in it or something? There's some character they show with like long ears, some elf dude, some bald elf guy.
They showed that game like one time, and I was like, huh?
He looks kind of beat in this because he's all like war torn.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
He's like kind of gypsy
He's
ass.
got a
Yeah,
bow.
yeah.
He's got a bow and
Oh,
arrow.
baby, stop it, yeah.
Yeah,
A PNG of a guy holding a bow?
yeah, you're in.
All right, we'll do Yorvith.
He's got a vibe, dude. The Yorvith sexual tension is
Universe.
always peaked.
the Yorvith sexual tension
Yeah.
universe.
From Alexander Zurianov, hello allies. Hollywood decided to make a movie trilogy based on Easy Allies history, and you were hired as consultants.
Uh-oh.
What dramatic conflict would you suggest for each of the 4 movies? The final film in the trilogy will obviously have 2 parts.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So wait, what?
So
What
we
was
see
it?
a trilogy of movies.
there's the Easy Allies trilogy, but the last one's 2 parts. These 4 movies. What is each one about? Like what is the
Number 2 is
What?
the like we lost. The ending is Bossman leaving.
That's got to be 3
Or,
because
like,
2
dying.
is the studio. 2's the studio.
Well,
John.
no,
yeah.
but in a trilogy, like
The
yeah,
very
Act
end of 2 is
Act
like
2
the big
ends Dark
moment.
Knight is the Soul. So that would have to be right now, where we have no money.
That's not fair to people who have no money. We have a lot in the bank.
That's
Yeah,
3
yeah,
part
yeah.
1.
I would say that the entire first movie is everything that happened in real life.
Right.
But at the end of that, something bonkers happens, and the rest is like completely fictional. Like
I was
metaverse,
saying
hopping
yeah.
around, like,
The end of part
fantasy,
3
like,
should be the universe splits. Yeah, and then everything.
part
happens.
3. What are the first 3 movies, Jones? Sitting around?
But do we really have to do time loops and multiverses? That's everything
All right,
ever
fine.
now.
Not-
Easy
no.
Allies.
Enough.
We get sucked into. Okay, how about this? We for whatever reason we get to choose which video game we get sucked into.
Ooh.
But
Stay tuned.
Bloodworth wins and we go into Witcher 3. And so, like,
We
the
all draw
whole time,
straws.
I'm, like, all pissy about having to be in here and I like, can't pick things up.
Sucks.
Like, we're like,
Jones is
whatever.
missing. We have
like,
to
I
find
like
him.
Keep
Put a
bringing
spell
this
on me.
Witcher
You're
3
like,
stuff, and I'm like,
combat's-
I would not want to walk around the world of Witcher 3.
Right.
If you're in
Well,
a
like-
city, you're gonna get your throat slashed. If you're in
Yeah.
the country, or something's gonna bite your
So
head
we
off.
get sucked into a video game, but we're still us.
Right.
And, like, half of us didn't want that video game to win. So,
There
like, that's the interplay. That's the conflict.
We have to like go look. I feel like we have to go looking for Jones. Jones was like got taken into another game,
went into the
and it's a
woods.
way to do a western.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like
what's
Jones is
gonna
lost in a
happen-
western.
Looks like Back to the Future Part 3.
Yes.
You, when you find me there, I'm already established.
Yeah,
You're a
Wish you hadn't
gunslinger.
come.
Yes. Yes, dude.
What's going to happen is that amateur Gundam construction is actually going to become the main thing as Ben and Brad learn to build.
Oh my god, we
real
find them
Gundams.
actually building Gundam.
Yeah.
Just talking
Maybe we have
talking
to,
about
like,
things.
jump
like-
around between a bunch of different games then. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
From Mike Hook 1. Good afternoon, allies.
Slash me, daddy is a real.
Okay, alright. I love Hall of Greats. I look forward to it every time. The 3-month wait between episodes is way too long, though. Would you consider doing Hall of Greats exhibition matches?
Nope.
Yeah. These would be
Exhibition
more
matches.
selected games.
What?
You could choose from a specific genre, console, your developer, composer, etc. Fans have talked about, when we have our meeting next Monday, we're going to talk about Hall of Greats a lot. People have lots of ideas. Well, I'm going to shoot a lot of ideas out. We'll see how long we talk about them.
I don't know if Monday's meeting is going to be the time for
Oh,
that.
yeah, well,
we
no,
have to
do that
get
later
through that
on.
meeting very fast.
We have several meetings between now and the next Hall of Greats. But people have talked about this for Hall of Greats in general, like doing just a console or doing just a year or something. The winners would be its own bracket, and not to disturb the current Hall of Greats list, you could do these more frequently to pad out the lengthy wait between the Grandmasters Pro Tournament Hall of Greats events.
Nope.
This is a great idea. I know. Let's do it. We can go tonight.
Nope. I think it devalues it. I think the reason Hall of Greats is so awesome for people is because it is an event.
A lot of the suggestions for Hall of Greats 7 do that, where you're just like, oh, we can't do like a side thing because then it's not.
Yep.
There'd be confusion. They'd be like, well.
Yep.
It'd be.
There was one
What's the thing in
idea-
baseball where it's the asterisk, right? Where it's like. Yeah, you got the record, but
Had extra games.
There was one idea that we
had
had that would be a side thing that I think could be fun for like a one-off, but
Like a special.
yeah, it would just be a special.
Yeah.
Because I thought, remember Damian, we were talking about the. I think it'd be pretty funny, but
What?
the idea.
I don't know. I was just reading
Oh,
the chat.
Hall of Greats.
That's what I'm talking about. The silent treatment. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
there it was.
Damian would just be like, huh. Amanda would do that. So Amanda would be like looking on the phone while I'm driving. And she's like, huh. Just like.
well then you have to say,
You have to learn to be
what
more
is it?
compassionate with people with attention
You
stuff.
go what?
The Hall of Sevens.
So many other things she looked
We
at.
kind
on
of
her
do that at
phone.
the awards, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that at the end of every year.
But I think sevens are great. That's why I bring them to Hall of Greats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
EZA Christmas special.
From Photon Shuttle. Excuse
did
me, hello,
that.
allies.
Well, no, it's Thanksgiving. Well,
I don't
sort
know.
of.
We've done a
The
lot
Neo
of stuff.
Geo thing that
Oh
the
yeah,
Don
that
did.
Don did. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
also we
The
took
parade.
we took a
Holiday
big
spectacular.
break from it, right?
What?
During COVID, did we do Hall of Greats?
Yeah.
We missed
we,
one.
We missed one.
I think we've missed two.
We missed
I
two.
don't know that
So it
missing
feels-
is.
We've delayed it
Well,
every
right.
now and then.
Delayed,
by a
yeah.
month or
Delay,
two.
and then sometimes
According
it
to
becomes
the-
almost a full quarter.
According
Yeah.
to the wiki, we've missed two because they expect it to be quarterly.
Yeah.
But we just do them whenever.
Yeah. So it's probably back on a consistent schedule. So that
Yeah, now
missing
it's-
those
yeah.
probably made it seem, like a painful wait for sure.
From Photon Shuttle. Hello, allies. This is a question on behalf of Screaming Argonaut in chat.
Aha.
Since I didn't know what to ask, I've rearranged it for easier consumption. Screaming Argonaut's question is, what is your entry game to the following series and how did it hook you? There were 4 games bracketed and one was blank. So I don't know what the second game was, but I had 3 franchises. So what was your entry game? How did it hook you? Final Fantasy. What was your entry?
Final Fantasy 4, aka 2 here.
Okay.
Just looked really. Played it at a friend's house. They had it. It just seemed really cool. It was like, ooh, fantasy game. There's there's spells and dragons and mages
Summons.
and
When that was a
summons.
novelty.
Yeah, like there.
Now there's a trillion.
Yeah, now it was like so. Yeah, it was really
Sex,
something.
baby.
And also I was obsessed with the end. I couldn't beat it when I was with them. So I was like, I gotta go get it on my own and buy it. And then Yeah, it was just a way
The moon
more.
is really freaking hard.
Yeah, it was really more.
Even on our US
it was way
easy
more
version.
complicated than most games at the time in terms of like understanding like the basics. I was like, wow, this is like, wow, games can be a little bit more than just like platformers and side scrollers.
Final Fantasy 1 for me, NES. That was my first time playing it, but I wasn't hooked on the series all the way until Final Fantasy 10. Because when 7 came out, I thought the motorcycle and the Buster Sword were cool, but I just never got fully into it at the time.
Right.
And then just like kind of skipped over 8 and dabbled with 9, but 10 was really like, shit,
that's a
I love
good
this.
point because I wasn't hooked on Final Fantasy series after 4 or 2 either. I had no interest, like 6.
It was
I
a cool
actually
game.
like
Wow.
6 looked too similar, so I'm like, oh, is this the same game? Am I like I don't want like I don't some weird thing with me. I was like, like 2 was enough for me. I gave 4.
For some reason,
7, I
skipped
didn't have a
4, I don't know why.
PlayStation, so like I couldn't play 7.
Yeah.
8 and 9 didn't look like 9 to me. I was like, oh, cool, it's going back to medieval stuff, but I didn't like the character design, so I was like, not
I never
into this.
played 9 because I was
It
like, why does
was-
this kid got a tail?
Yeah, it was 10 for me too, Huber. Had a
Yeah.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I played Final Fantasy 4 so much I haven't touched Final Fantasy
Wow.
since. Got into 10, I was like, yo, give me all the old ones. Let's start playing them all because
Yes,
that backwards
yes,
compatibility.
same, yes.
I was like, let's go. That's when I played them all, man.
So
Mine was definitely tactics, but I remember being, or 7. I was like so hyped for 7, and then I remember seeing that first like cutscene, and it like melted my brain.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god.
remember those commercials for that?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, they were. It was
Genova
actually a
and
pet
shit?
peeve in a way at that time because it was like CG was just so new, and
Yeah.
there was
It's
just,
not what the game looks like.
right. Yeah, it's like that's not the game. You never
Same
showed
one.
the game.
Same, dude. That's probably where it started. My hate of CG trailers.
Yeah.
It was Final Fantasy 7.
I mean,
Really?
Blood, dude.
that is
yes.
the game, though, man.
But
10 and 10 too, I really loved too.
But in terms of
And
entry
8,
point,
I
I
love
mean, I was all over. I mean, probably from before the first game came out. Like just
Shit.
seeing it, I was ready for when that game came out, and I had already played a few RPGs by that point.
Yeah.
But it was funny though because again you talk about like how expectations are different and how many NES games you would just beat a game. You would run
Yeah.
a game and you would beat a game,
Right.
and if you liked it, you'd play it again over and over. And so with the first Final Fantasy, we had just played it and we got to like beating Garland and everything at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then like the story thing comes up. It's like, oh cool, we beat the game. I was like, oh no, it's just starting.
Yeah. Sick.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was really fun because I think even unlike a lot of other games that I played during that era, we didn't really play Final Fantasy with a guide.
Yeah,
So
same.
like we were just
I never
coming
beat it.
across
I never beat it.
all of that stuff
Yeah.
just naturally with like no reference point. So just like getting the canoe and finding the fiends and like getting the airship and stuff, like it just all just came out of nowhere.
So sick.
Did you play Dragon Quest on the NES?
Yeah.
That's our next franchise. That was that
Shout
your
out
first?
to Suikoden.
Dragon Warrior, yeah, was my first Dragon Quest, and then I didn't play it again until
Oh,
11.
I don't think I've ever played any of them at all.
Yeah,
Except for
so
Builders.
I'm
Builder just wanted
Couple
to.
of minutes.
not
Crazy,
hooked on
yeah.
that series,
Yeah, I'm not
unfortunately. And the two
Don't
I
hurt me.
played the most about,
now.
the
Don't hurt
two I played the most of were Dragon Quest IX
Toot.
for DS at the time. Was it
Yeah.
DS or DS? Jeez, I can't remember. And then the most recent one,
11.
11. I can't remember. So I can't remember the numbers half the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Dragon Quest 8 for me. It's legit.
your first?
Yep.
Great
legit.
soundtrack.
Legit my favorite JRPG of all time. It's not even close. It's one of the greatest games ever made.
I remember
Never looked back.
I remember the soundtrack coming on at GT when you guys
Yeah.
were playing it, and I was like, wow, that sounds pretty fun.
Castlevania.
What?
What was your first one?
Symphony of the Night,
Number
baby.
one.
What was your first?
NES.
Oh
Symphony
wow.
of the Night.
Number one for NES. Loved
Yeah.
loved Simon's Quest. That was one I learned later was bad, but at the time, like,
Yeah,
oh,
I think
man.
Simon's
That was a
Quest
scary
was my
game.
first one too.
Much
And
so much
I,
creepier than the first one. Like the first one's like actiony and awesome, and like second one's creepy. Like,
this is
it's
gonna
like,
sound
ooh.
ridiculous, but I actually think my entry point to the series, not counting the cartoon Captain N or anything, the novelization of Simon's Quest.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
I read
That's so
that,
dope,
and then I played the game
That's
after
sick.
that.
Yeah, because I didn't have Nintendo at all and then I had a PlayStation. So my first one was Symphony of the Night, and I fell in love. It's like my favorite game, tied for favorite game of all time. And then I got into the on the SP. I played some of those. But yeah,
I didn't play the first Castlevania or Castlevania 3 that much. I didn't play Castlevania 4 that much.
Four is really good.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
4 is the best.
Friends always
Four's
had
my favorite.
1, 2, or 3, and yeah, 2 was just confusing. 1, you could get like past like 2 levels maybe, and then I don't remember even playing 3, but I remember people having it. But yeah, Super Castlevania 4 was the
That's
one.
crazy. That game.
Yeah,
Best.
the
Yeah,
real
that
one.
game's
I was
so
like,
good.
oh, this is cool. Played through that, and then years later, because I didn't have a PlayStation, like shortly after going back playing through like all the Final Fantasy games, and getting really heavy into Metal Gear, was like, oh yeah, there's this game called Symphony Night. Everyone keeps championing and stuff. I
Oh
gotta
my
try this
God.
game out. So didn't play Symphony Night until the 2000s as well. But I was like, oh man, this is great too. But I actually didn't get into, besides Symphony Night and Super Castlevania, I really, and Rondo of Blood, I really didn't play much of the handheld Castlevania games. I never got into them.
Some of those are
so many of
really
them I've
good.
not touched. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play all of them, but I
Area
played
of
quite a
Sorrow,
few.
Same with the PS2
But
ones. Never tried
Curse
those.
of the Moon, I think, whatever the first GBA one was,
Damn it.
just
Yeah,
because
I
at
had
that point,
one,
like,
yeah.
but we were still able to rent GBA games from Blockbuster, you know. So it's like Tony
Yeah.
Hawk. It was like I was just like any GBA game I could get, I was
Jeez.
getting.
Also the
Fred loves a lot of the handheld ones.
Me too.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
the 360
Was
PS3
Circle of the
generation
Moon
ones, the Mercury Steam, whatever.
Mhm.
Curse.
Lord of Shadow 1 and 2.
Lord of
and
Shadow,
then
yeah, Lord
of
Shadow.
The middle one was DS1 or 3DS1.
That
It
one
had
too.
a-
Never
DS.
played any. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
play through those
I
either.
played some of Lords of Shadow and kind of bounced off it.
But I have a similar experience with Symphony of the Night where I got a PlayStation late, and then I think I got a disc copy of Symphony of the Night like off of eBay or something, and I think like I either didn't play it a whole lot or I like played it through to like the middle or, without even like knowing the twist or anything, and didn't like totally realize. I don't know, like it's weird. Like I didn't totally get into it in the same way, and then like after I got a PS2, then I sort of revisited it, and then yeah, that's when I really like appreciated it a lot more.
Yeah. My memory's hazy, but I think I got the glasses and all that naturally. So I think, oh man, that moment is fucking crazy.
DRD 7 of 14. Hey, allies. What's your favorite hat
Was
to
there
wear?
were there any more? Or is
Show
that,
love and respect.
oh, there's one that they didn't
There
fill
were
in.
three.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there's one
Game
missing.
2 was blank. It was Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Castlevania.
Okay.
Thank you, Photon Shuttle. DRD 714. Hey, Alice, what's your favorite hat to wear? Eternal love and respect.
Hat?
Hat.
Metaphorically or literally?
Yeah,
I think
right.
literally. Fedoras and or cowboy hats
Okay.
for me.
Literally.
I definitely
Fedoras
wear
are
all
great.
the hats.
The only
Just
hat
'cause
I've ever
I have a
worn is
bad
my
memory
daughter's
about
hat.
that question. Had a like one early job interview. I was just like did not realize they were asking metaphorically.
So you're like, baseball cap?
Yeah, well, they asked, they didn't like elaborate, and like I didn't pick up on the context, and the interviewer was like, "No, I meant like jobs, like roles and stuff," and I'm like, "Oh,
That's
oh,
on
yeah,
them. Don't
yeah.
feel bad.
Seriously.
That's
But
on
like
them.
the look they gave me was like, "Are you not smart?" I'm like, "Oh, great."
Are you not smart?
I've never been a hat person, but I recently got like some sun hats that are kind of cute.
No,
So those are fun for like a hike.
Oh, for new emotes.
Oh yeah, I need to like.
Emote with you wearing a
I
hat.
need to replace my old emotes.
Yeah, I've never really been much of a hat person. Like I'll wear a ball cap like out in the sun or whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a ball cap.
Yeah, it's not that
Not a
not
fan.
a thing I do a whole lot.
So I don't like hats.
But it's just like when it's like a necessity kind of thing. I did actually. There was one year we were up like one of the old like mining touristy towns in Northern California, and they had a hat shop, and I bought a fedora there, and I wore that off and on for a few years,
Nice.
and then I kind of got over that, and I still have it, but yeah, I don't really wear it anymore.
There's a really nice hat shop on whatever it's called, Disney Springs now, whatever.
Oh
Like,
God.
what used to be called Pleasure Island, what used to be called Downtown Disney, what's now called Disney Springs in Orlando. There's a really good milliner there.
Hmm.
And we were trying on a lot of the hats in there, and they were pretty good, but I didn't get one.
Love that my cowboy hat that I wore for Red Dead that I wear that's just in my closet. I bought at the hat store that's in GTA Online. You can go if there's a hat place where you can buy hats in Grand Theft Auto Online. That's on Venice Beach, and I went to that hat shop.
That literal in real life hat shop.
I mean, there's a hat shop literally that exact location.
That's funny.
And I'm like, I'm assuming it's this hat shop.
I was watching a video about this, like one of the oldest operating, maybe the oldest operating hat shop in the world. I think it's in like London or something.
Probably.
Can't remember the
There's
name.
a lot of those stores in like London and Scotland.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We've been here for 300 years.
But they
making
have like
suits.
they have like a one of a kind like hat fitting apparatus that has like all these little wood things that they like put onto your head, and like they trace it on paper and cut the paper out and put it on the mold, and so it's just like what?
Nice.
Wow.
Their hats are like real expensive. They're like $1,000 hats, and I'm like, okay.
Well, because they have like everybody that makes them just like in the back room.
Yeah, they make them like custom. Custom. You can order some on the website that are only like $500.
Sage Mode Q, with it just being Huber's birthday, got me thinking, what's the best birthday gift that each of the allies has ever received? Hive Freezy chillin', love and respect.
Gran Turismo 3 PS2 bundle.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
10 out of 10.
My brother got a Transformers watch one time, and there's video of me at his birthday party being like, well, he got an Optimus Prime watch, but he already had. And he's like, I already have this. And he showed it to my mom. He's like, I have this. And she's like, well, that happens. She's like, we can take it back. And I was like, but I don't. I'm like, you can give me that. And the camera like pans over to me, and I'm like, he's going to give me that. And he did not. He took it back. I never got that Transformers watch.
I love that.
He's going to give me that.
That reminds me of my friend Chris Wen. I was at his bachelor party, and we were opening Pokemon cards, and I got a foil Charizard or whatever,
Well,
like the good one, right?
A foil Charizard?
Yeah.
Isn't that worth a lot?
I don't know. And he was kind of like, he was like, oh my god, like my dad gave me that card when I was a kid, and like, because he has like an old one of that, and it like meant super a lot to him, you know?
You put it in your mouth.
And then, well, no, and then he was like, he didn't say anything, but he kind of figured I would give it to him. Then I was like, I'm gonna keep it. But then, and then I like had it, you know, put in the acrylic and gave it to him at the wedding. But like, it was such a funny moment though, like the
so
look on his face when I was like, I'm gonna keep it.
You shouldn't have had to do that, man. It's your car. It's not right.
It was so funny. I mean, I don't give a shit about Pokemon cards, but
We were talking about this 2 days ago, but I think we didn't have the cameras on, so I don't know if I've ever brought this up on camera before, but like easily was my brother paid for me to go skydiving on my 18th birthday, but it's like he had drugged me to the drop zone for 2 years before that because he was.
I heard drugs.
Yeah, he said
drugged me. I was like,
Literally wakes up as he's going out of the plane.
like sleeping on the plane.
Yeah.
So
Is that kid all right? I drugged him.
So anyway, so I was around skydiving for years before that because he was bored because it was like the drop zone was like an
Drop
hour
Zone, good movie.
It's a good movie, yeah.
It was an
Fun
hour
ending,
or
fun ending.
more.
Good score. Really good score. Sorry.
It was an hour or more from our house, and so you'd have to like make that drive every weekend, and then you essentially have to wait your turn, sit around while other people made their jumps, and then he would, I don't know, jump a couple of times, and then and so I would just essentially be sitting and waiting, and then watching him come down, and going through like skydiving magazines and stuff for years. And then, finally, when I was 18, I was actually old enough, and like, he paid for me to jump. But it was also my first time in an airplane whatsoever.
Whoa.
So
That's the
embarrassing.
only way to
That's
fly.
like,
How scared
what?
were you?
I wasn't. And that was the
Damn.
thing,
Wow.
like, people
Probably
didn't
didn't
believe it.
understand.
But,
You were on
like,
drugs.
Yeah, you're drugs.
So,
Well, but I had been like, around it and heard,
Yeah.
seen people, like, seen
Yeah.
my brother already jumped
Oh,
200
seen
times
more.
by
Yeah,
that
you're really
point.
stunned.
Gotcha.
right.
Plus, at a
Yeah.
young enough age, like, yeah, maybe it didn't.
When that plane took off, man, oh my god, I was so scared.
Have you
I was like,
skydived-
I was like
skydived?
stoked leading up to it. Like, oh, this is gonna be great. We went 2 groups, so the first group went, watched them, and then we're like, okay, and like got in the plane. We're like, all right, and then it's just really loud. It's not like a fancy plane. There's just
Oh,
wood
yeah.
floor,
Yeah.
sliding door, like
Yeah,
cockpit. That's it.
Yeah.
We've done the
Indiana
vertical
Jones.
wind tunnel like simulated skydiving
Oh, that's
thing like
cool.
30 times or
I'd love to do
something.
that.
Like I'm good at skydiving, but I don't ever want to do it.
Oh, and then what was cool too is like he jumped with me too.
Nice.
Oh, your brother?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Not tandem, like on his
Not
own?
yeah, I was tandem to an instructor,
To the instructor,
but
yeah.
So
That's awesome.
but he went out and then I went out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma got me Ninja Turtles 2 VHS tape.
Nice.
When it was like, 'cause I was
Muse.
waiting for it to come out as a
Yes.
kid.
The
I was
white
so,
box.
Yeah,
The white
white box. I was
box,
looking every
dude.
like it would like they'd have posters, but no stores would ever have it. I'd go to every store for like
Yes.
weeks. Like, 'cause you don't know what the release dates are. You're just like, is it here? And you see Ninja Turtles 1 and not 2, and I'm like, where's that white box? And one day I just came home, and Grandma was like, here it is. Like birthday. I was like, yo, let's go.
Think about iPhones, man. If iPhones had been around at the time, we would have that video. We'd be
Yeah.
able to watch that right now. Because, man, I want to see that. That's too good.
I've had a lot of really thoughtful and extravagant birthday. I've been fortunate in my life, I guess. But like, I remember in college, friends of mine threw a surprise party for me. But their cover story was that we were going to go to, what is it called, Sweet Mandy Bees or something? This like bakery, and they're like, so bring your milk pills. But like I was all butthurt because my house was right here and the bakery was here and their house was here. But they were like, meet us at our house first and then we'll go together. And I was like, I'll just meet you there.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'll just meet you there. Why am I gonna walk to your house? Because we didn't have cars. So it's like, why am I gonna walk 2 miles to your house and then come back here? I'll just meet you there. And they're like, cause we just meet us here, you know. And then I got there and it was this huge surprise party. And they told me to bring the milk pills because they knew that my favorite cake was the Disney or the Dairy Queen ice cream cake.
Ah.
But
Nice.
Is that
so it was
still your
all a
favorite or not?
ruse. I mean, it's like dangerous to eat, but I love that middle like the like earthquake layer or whatever it's called. Like the
Earthquake layer.
No, it's not. It's called. but
That
like
sounds
the
awesome,
fudge-
though.
That
Can we
sounds
call
so
it that?
The earthworm layer, you know.
No, I want
Earthquake
earthquake
layer
layer.
is like it's like a hidden Bruce Willis film for sure.
Dude.
Like,
You know, like the dirt, the like with the chocolate crumbles and the fudge, and
earthquake
like
layer.
they don't have the worms in it, but
Right.
I want.
you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly.
I
what
want
you're
earth.
talking
No, I want that to be a
Fudge
thing.
and cookie crumble
imagine
layer,
what you're
yeah.
talking
Yeah, the
about.
quiver
So-
track.
What?
What?
What were you saying?
No, I said I want it to be a thing.
Oh,
I
the
wanna
earthquake
find
layer.
Yeah, I want to find an ice cream shop that does that and I want them to call it the earthquake layer, and I want to try it.
And has anyone ever attempted the Vermonster at Ben and Jerry's?
The what?
The what?
No, I know what
Monster?
you're talking about, but no.
The
no, no.
Vermont-
20
Monster?
scoops of ice cream in a bucket.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
nope. Is that like that?
And
Wait,
it's
is that
like, dude, it's like 20 scoops
Bill
of
and
ice cream,
Ted?
5
Is that the Bill and
bananas.
Ted thing?
Ziggy.
Is that the Ziggy Piggy thing?
Ziggy
Yeah.
Piggy.
Is that where it's from?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. I think it is.
Ziggy Piggy, dude.
Wait, so now you guys talking about ice cream just reminded me. Now you know how we had the question earlier about who we were most recently angry at.
Yeah.
Now I'm suddenly angry at Ben because I was eating dinner last night when his script came through, and so then I just finished eating.
Whoa.
And then went and edited the script and then went to bed. But I forgot I bought ice cream at the grocery store last night, so I didn't get to eat it.
Is it in the freezer?
Earthquake cake.
Yeah, it's in the freezer.
Totally Ben's fault.
I clicked on the earthquake
Wait,
cake
earthquake
image.
cake is a thing?
Yeah, I can't stay out of the kitchen. Earthquake cake. Oh my goodness, earthquake cake is such a delight. Chocolate lovers and cheesecake lovers. So
Oh, I'm
it's
out.
a cheesecake?
I love chocolate.
Whoa.
I went to a store to buy 2 pints of ice cream because they're getting rid of it, discontinuing the flavor.
Which one?
Rocket Pop at Jenny's.
Rocket
It's in my new neighborhood. It's a place called Jenny's. Has
Jenny's
this-
is the 10
it's like-
Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream.
It's like
You
blueberry.
better get the brown butter almond, dude. What are you
It's,
doing?
It's blueberry and pineapple.
Nice.
It's
Forget ice
I just
cream,
got a
man.
free gift from my bra company.
It's citrus tastic.
Gelato.
Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream is like my number one. I'm an ice cream enthusiast, Jen. So
J-E-N-I,
Gelato.
Jenny's, right?
Yep, yep.
I'd never heard of it.
Yep.
Gelato.
It's on Larchmont.
The
Yep.
best. Gelato's the best.
We're talking about birthdays. All right, Bruce McCants, greetings,
10 out of 10.
allies. With rumors of potential PS2 era GTA trilogy on the way, got me thinking about GTA 4. GTA 4 came out when I was 22 years old. I still remember the hype leading up to its release. From Peter Moore sporting a GTA 4 tattoo, then announcing exclusive episodic content to coming to Xbox 360, to the badass final trailer prior to release. I couldn't drive to the mall fast enough to pick up my copy. I'm happy to say for me, the game still delivered on its promise of next-gen GTA in every way. It looked and played great for its day. Still my favorite lead character story in any GTA game.
Hell yeah.
Question. throughout your entire gaming career, what game were you most hyped for prior to its release, and did it live up to the hype?
Superman 64.
Love and respect.
Did not.
I've
live
told
up
this
to
I've
that?
said this
Did
so many
not.
times.
Did not.
Superman 64. I had a countdown in my
Wow.
wall, Xing out the
Wow.
days until early.
Whoa.
I grew up
Wow.
with Batman and Superman.
Wow.
They were my
Yeah.
favorite things of all time, and I'm like 8
Because I feel
years
bad.
old.
Spider-Man 2 was one of my
Yeah.
top two. Spider-Man 2 and Perfect Dark. They were
Yeah.
the two. But like Spider-Man 2, they both totally lived up to it.
Yeah.
I just remember. I remember my buddy Todd calling me and like, I literally picked up the phone. Yeah, is it good? It is. It's really good. Okay, cool. All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Sick.
Because I just wouldn't shut up about Spider-Man 2 for months.
Yeah.
You know, and it was finally like,
10 out of 10.
will you be quiet now? And I'm like, I will. It's everything I want it to be.
Yeah.
Superman 64.
Peter
So
Moore
good.
can never show his shoulder in public again.
I don't even remember
Wasn't
that
it
happening.
the
I don't think I
girl-
watched that press
Was it
conference.
real?
I don't think it was
No.
real.
It's
Oh,
probably
God.
not real,
No,
but
it's
he like
not
it was-
real.
it like
Definitely
wants to
drawn
keep
on.
this illusion up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really hyped for Spore.
Same.
Oh wow.
That didn't live up.
Sam. I got
I was
hustled. I bought the collector's edition.
Dude, so
again.
did I. Or
Yeah.
I don't think I got the collectors, but I like pre-ordered it and everything. I was pretty hyped for Cyberpunk, but not like all-time hyped. But
At the time, I was really hyped for and didn't think it lived up to expectations was Metal Gear Solid 2 because I didn't get to play as Snake when I wanted to play it. But that
I get it.
that has since gone away.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
that'll
not-
be. Hopefully, people
But-
think that about Last of Us Part 2 down the line.
I was
Hopefully,
really-
they do the same thing.
I really
But-
liked MGS2, and I'm glad because I didn't have any baggage coming into it.
I like it a lot now, more too now. But someone posted here, it's not the one they said, but RE6.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Just because
gosh.
leading up to it, I was like, dude, they're getting everyone together. Let's go. And it was just so bad.
Similarly, Silent Hill, I was forgetting if Homecoming or Downpour was first. Homecoming? But that one, I was excited and then, yeah, very, very let down.
13 was, Final Fantasy 13 was another one too. I was like, Blood. I mean, I don't know if you remember Joseph Blood. Like, yeah, like we were all just like, yeah. And, like we got the demo. It's like, dude, we're playing the demo.
Yeah.
Imported that game. Was so excited. And I made the excuse. I told everyone, I was like, well, I don't really understand the story because of the Japanese, so I'm just gonna expect that, like, the story, when I can understand the story completely, it's gonna be great. That was my excuse. Like, I just don't know the story yet. It's gonna be. I need to know the context.
For which game?
It's gonna, for 13. I was like, once the story's there, and like, it's gonna be great. And I played through in English. I was like, nope. It's even worse now that I
Nice
understand
to
this. Don't understand the story.
We're talking about being disappointed about Resident Evil 6?
We're not actually talking about disappointing. We're talking about most hyped, which
Most hype, but
Yeah.
then it did or did not live up.
And just
not
say whether
live
it
up.
did or
whether,
not.
Oh, whether it did or
And
not.
did.
Oh, whether it did. I thought it was did
Yeah.
not. Oh, whether it
Ah.
Did it, not did
did. Oh, yeah,
it.
it's like Twilight
Oh,
did
Princess,
it.
man. Yeah, Twilight Princess is right
Twilight
up there.
Princess was big.
Dude.
Final Fantasy X, I was pretty hyped. 7, I was really hyped.
Yeah, I think Ocarina of Time is the most hyped, and also
Silent Hill 2, I was out of my mind.
one of my worst I should have stopped playing this game moments, and I didn't, and I've stayed up all night playing that, and then I had to cook Thanksgiving dinner. And had not slept, cooking a turkey, just completely exhausted because I couldn't put Ocarina of Time down.
Yeah.
I love that. 8, I liked 8. Am I the only person who liked Final Fantasy 8 on like the planet
Yeah, I
Earth?
like it.
No, other people
really
like
good.
it.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
think
The
it's
story is probably the weirdest
Oh, yeah.
full story arc that any
I was
Final
real
Fantasy
hyped for
game.
No Man's Sky.
I
accepted No Man's
Like,
Sky
I
for what
accept
it
that
was,
it's a
though, so I
weird-
didn't hate it.
a weird game, but there's definitely some things like the opening cutscene of 8 that just transitions seamlessly into gameplay.
Yeah.
It still blows my mind.
Final Fantasy 8?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. When that game starts up, it's craziness.
Nice. That's like the only Final Fantasy I've never even touched for 1 second.
Oh, really?
For not even for one, I haven't even moved an inch in that. Yeah, never even touched
What,
it.
Final Fantasy 8?
Yeah.
Dude, I like it.
I've played the opening of that game at least 10 times. I've just
Nice.
never gone past it.
I like the
I
card
don't
game in that a
continue
lot.
past it.
In 8.
Nice.
Is that... Which one is that? Triple Triad?
Yep.
I get
think
them all
so, yeah.
confused.
Finally, from James Davey. This is a bit confusing. Hey, allies. Firstly, Huber and Brad, don't tell us you don't know the band Alter Bridge because they sang Edge's entrance music.
Oh,
So how-
nice.
Isn't that a supergroup formed from members of Creed or something like that? Alter Bridge? Am I crazy? Is that right?
I think
I ain't looking
They're
at
also
Whenever
like
that
vaguely Christian or
came up
something?
last time around, I think somebody in comments mentioned that.
I thought it was like one person from Creed and one person from...
I
You have
have
2 yeses.
I have
okay, all right.
absolutely no reference. For
3
that.
yeses.
Yeah.
Confirm it.
Before I get to this month's question, I want to explain. I've been running the EZA Forum's 2008 Game of the Year, and I put a tongue-in-cheek troll game in it, which is as follows. This is a little hard to follow, but I will... He said it says number 3 Wii Music, which I guess maybe was number 3 on the EZA Forum's 2008 GOTY list.
2008?
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah.
Wii Music was number 3. So
Were we in business in 2008?
that's a little confusing. Well,
No.
this is our the forums on our
Yes,
website.
We were.
And so they got 26 points, and James wrote 26 points of embarrassment. In the number 1 slot, there were 5 points, 5 being the men who embarrassed themselves at E3 2008. In the 2 slot, there were 9 points, also the maximum age of people the game is intended for. Number 3, there were 7 points, the number of classic video game compositions that were butchered. For number 4, there were 5 points, the age of kids who will most benefit from Wii Music's gameplay. What? And for honorable mention, there were 0 points for there's no honor in acting like a 5-year-old who gnaws on tambourines.
What?
Just taking that verbatim. I think there's a point value associated with what place people put their picks in.
Yeah.
Which means 5 people voted Wii Music to be the number 1 game released in 2008. I don't know if that's a troll or what's going on for all this thing. I'm confused on the point breakdown.
I remember
literally
Wii
what it's
Music
doing.
was
I'm trying to
disappointing
figure
on the
this out.
poll.
And that's not
I've
even a
never
question
played
from
it.
this post. As for
Yeah.
this month's question,
Super
I recently
weird.
picked up a PS3 with a bunch of titles. I'd like to know your thoughts on these PS3 games.
Wait, so there's no question about Wii Music?
No, that's
Okay.
literally
That
just...
was just a...
that's him
That
being
was like
That was
cheeky.
the prologue. Okay.
That was
James,
to mess
what are
with
you
our.
talking
They're
about?
trying to mess with our heads.
It's
That's
a
him
bit-
being cheeky on how he
Yeah.
scored a very specific point structure for the GOTY submissions
Sure.
of these
I'm
are-
out of 10 confused.
specifically
Yeah.
for the year 2008.
I'm proud
Well,
of
that's
you.
your word count.
That was the pre-question pre-show.
What are your thoughts on these PS3 games? Puppeteer. Brad's not here. But
Love
Brad's like one of
Puppeteer,
his
Moonbear
favorites of all
King
time, right?
Yeah,
forever.
good
Puppeteer's
vibes.
great.
Really good vibes on that.
Love Moonbear King. Puppeteer's a 10.
Q&A with some...
Skate
So
2.
good. Love Skate 2.
Never played Skate 2.
Haven't
There
played
it
it.
is. Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Haven't played those.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I love
All right,
Splinter Cell
that was
1.
So the thing about Splinter Cell Blacklist
No, I like
is
Saffy
it's
Filter.
one of those games where you go in expecting it to be bad because they botched the presentations so much, and because Ironside's not in it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then it ends up being one of the best Splinter Cell games. As excellent Spies vs. Mercs returns. Like there's just so much there, and it's kind of like with Mankind. We were talking about Mankind Divided. It's
Yeah.
like they screwed up the marketing
Damn
so
it.
badly
Yeah.
that it kind of killed the franchise, even though it was a good game.
Yeah,
Brutal.
bummer.
Ride to Hell Retribution.
Never played
No,
that.
that's like a 2 out of 10 motorcycle game,
Okay.
right? Yeah, no.
I remember seeing
No,
it
no.
on like show.
Singularity.
Oh my God, you were standing up.
Some of my favorite weaponry in video games. This is one of my favorite 7s of all time. This is a 10 out of 10 underrated gem. Singularity, don't skip. Love that game. Love.
I think I give
Love
up
it.
that energy because sometimes
Love
I'll
it.
just get up out of my desk and Sophie will like, ah! Just run down the hallway. And I'm like, sorry.
Ah!
But I could feel it. Like the moment he got on his feet, I was like, oh no. I gotta get out of the way of this tornado.
I love Singularity. I think so fondly about that game periodically. Yes.
Lollipop Chainsaw. Did you review that?
Oh, yeah.
Damiani, who reviewed
Such a
that?
disappointment.
But
Yeah,
apparently, sequence from
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Suicide
there's a
Squad's
Suicide
influenced
Squad
by
reference
that.
to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I don't know.
I just remember all the like Lollipop Chainsaw like cosplays that
Yeah,
were
I
in
just
E3
know
for like
what's
years after that.
Just
I was just
weird
not
from-
into it.
like that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I finished Lollipop Chainsaw. I think it's a 6.
Is that Grasshopper
less.
Manufacturer?
Think so.
It's not swimming. It is not swimming.
Was that like also like around the time of like Oni Chambara, whatever that was? Singing.
I mean, that series has been around for years before.
Remember Wet?
I like Wet actually. I like
I
Wet.
own Wet.
Wet.
I
That
like
was one of
Wet.
the ones I stole from the Game Trailers library when we
Nice.
were picking stuff.
I actually really
Love
like
it.
Wet. I think Wet is so superior to Lollipop Chainsaw.
Okay.
Like, way better.
Remember
heard it here.
MDK?
That game's hard.
Yeah, that game's hard.
That is the ZLS Q&A for the
wow.
month of August 2021. Thank you everybody that submitted. Thanks everybody that's watching. Thank you to all the allies who are working on other things who aren't able to be here. Again, if you want to be involved in this,
check
this
that
happens
review after this.
once a month. We let you know on Patreon when the post is going to go up, and then the post happens, so everybody can get in there and get their post up as soon as possible. Very good questions, good conversations.
I want the Singularity now. Shit.
And near the end of September,
So good.
we'll
It
do
would be
September
fun to play
Q&A.
together because I haven't touched it since the review. I don't think. Yeah,
You reviewed it?
pretty sure.
Sick. Oh, it's so
Or
good.
there's a place for you to bring a game like that and share your passion for it.
Speaking of passion for games, coming up next weekend, the September Labor Day weekend, we're doing Easy Chillin', which is in the studio, 3-day marathon, 12 hours a day, noon to midnight each day.
Pacific
It's going to
time.
be Pacific time. Check easyallies.com for listings in your local time zone. It's going to be a lot of fun and some fun interactive elements. We're going to be announcing the schedule next week, but one thing we've been saying so that you get time to think about it, if you're in the $15 and up tier, you can submit for a live taping of Trash Babies, our new show where we play games that get 6 or less on Metacritic, 60 or less, and decide if we want to trash or treasure them. So far, we've done 2 episodes. They're up on Patreon, and I love them. They're so much fun. But Easy Chillin' is going to be a real blast.
Huber gets obsessed with the manual.
Huber, loves the manual.
Love that manual.
Yeah, and then we
I
left
love manuals.
We left the game here, so I was like frantically when I was editing the episode, I had to text Huber, be like, "Take pictures of that manual so I can put it in the episode." I don't know why I was frantic because I cut it a month and a half early, but I like getting things done.
Yeah. Check it off.
But yeah,
Cross it off the list.
join us for that on the beginning of September. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah! And to be in the next Q&A, patreon.com/easyallies. Lots of other fun tiers. Stuff that we do, suggestion squad, fun ways to get involved in our stuff and support us financially, which we would greatly appreciate because apparently we have no money.
We're okay.
You can have more. You can hit that sub button, go to patreon.com, or just watch our stuff. We have a good time. Hang out with us. Check out the schedule.
Easy Allies 2.
I'm probably more on
Easy Allies 2, the search for more money.
Yo, boots on the ground, hit the pavement, spread the word.
We
Easy
need
Allies.
more money.
We need merchandising and marketing.
We're gonna have merchandise.
We're gonna end
we can throw that
merchandise.
link.
Oh yeah, brand new shirts.
Buy that card.
Buy
We
the
gotta design
t-shirts.
some new shirts for. We gotta talk about that.
I don't know about that Wii. I can't design.
Well, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, we have a card game designed,
Oh, yeah.
inspired by an idea that I had, but designed by people from the community, and it's awesome. There's linked in chat, but yeah, kill your babies. It's fun. A lot of babies.
A lot of babies.
I
Babies.
don't know.
A lot of babies.
My biological clock.
A lot
is
of daddies.
kicking
A lot of
in.
babies. We're Easy Allies. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.